Imagine a world where money isn't controlled by banks, governments, or borders. A currency born from computer code and belief alone. A currency that has sparked revolutions, controversies, and fortunes, all without a single coin you can hold. This is Bitcoin, a mysterious digital creation that challenged everything we thought we knew about money. But what is Bitcoin, really? How did a small idea in an online forum grow into a global phenomenon worth billions? And why does it have the power to inspire, divide, and disrupt entire industries? Today, we dive into the rise of Bitcoin, the digital currency that dared to challenge the traditional world of finance. Before we begin this journey into one of the most groundbreaking stories of our time, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives like this. Now, buckle up, because this story is anything but ordinary. The year was 2008, and a storm was brewing in the financial world. Banks were collapsing, people were losing their homes, and a wave of fear swept across the globe. People began to question the system that controlled their money, a system that seemed to benefit the few at the top and leave everyone else struggling. As people watched their life savings disappear, trust in traditional banks faded. The system was broken, and for many, it felt like there was no hope. But in the darkness, a small spark of an idea was forming, a new kind of currency, free from the control of banks and governments. This idea would soon have a name, Bitcoin. But before it could be born, it needed a creator, someone with a vision and the skills to bring it to life. Enter a mysterious figure, someone who would go by the name Satoshi Nakamoto. In the digital world, anyone can be anyone. So when an unknown figure named Satoshi Nakamoto appeared in 2008, no one knew if this was a man, a woman, a group, or even a government. What they did know was that Satoshi had something revolutionary to share. Satoshi posted a white paper online describing a new kind of currency. This currency wouldn't need a bank, it wouldn't need a middleman, it would be digital, decentralized, and trustless. People could send money directly to each other without interference. This mysterious figure became the ghost that haunted the traditional financial system. Satoshi's white paper outlined a vision that sounded like science fiction, but in time, it would become one of the most important documents in modern finance. On January 3, 2009, the world changed, though almost no one knew it. Satoshi Nakamoto mined the very first Bitcoin block. It was called the Genesis block, the beginning of Bitcoin's story. This block contained a hidden message from Satoshi, a statement of protest. The Times 03 Jan 2009, Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. This message wasn't just a headline from that day's newspaper. It was a symbol of rebellion. Bitcoin was born out of frustration, a way to escape the control of traditional banks. In the eyes of Bitcoin's creator, the financial system had failed, and it was time for something new. This first block created 50 Bitcoins, but they weren't just coins. They were part of a bigger idea, a movement toward financial freedom that would soon grow beyond anyone's expectations. Behind every Bitcoin is the blockchain, the technology that makes it all work. Imagine a ledger, like a giant book that records every single transaction. But this book isn't kept in one place. It's spread across thousands of computers worldwide. Every transaction is added as a new block in the chain, creating a record that's permanent and nearly impossible to alter. This transparency was a radical idea. No one person or organization had control over it. The blockchain was revolutionary because it made trust optional. Instead of trusting a bank, people could trust the code, the network, and the community. It was a bold step, and it set Bitcoin apart from any currency the world had seen. To keep the blockchain secure, Bitcoin needed people to maintain it. Enter the miners, individuals, and groups using their computers to verify transactions. These miners would race to solve complex puzzles, and whoever solved it first would earn new Bitcoins. Mining became the heart of Bitcoin's network, and the reward of new Bitcoins was the incentive. It was a system built on mathematics and energy, one that promised fair rewards for fair work. Anyone with the right tools could participate. As more miners joined, Bitcoin's network grew stronger and more secure. The more people that believed in Bitcoin, the more it grew. A digital community with no central authority, built on a foundation of trust and technology. At first, Bitcoin had no real value. It was just a digital experiment with only a small group of believers. But in 2010, something extraordinary happened. A programmer named Laszlo Hanyecz made the first ever purchase using Bitcoin. Laszlo offered 10,000 Bitcoins in exchange for 2 pizzas. This wasn't just a craving for pizza. It was a groundbreaking moment. Bitcoin had made the leap from an idea to a currency with actual value. To this day, that transaction is legendary. People still celebrate Bitcoin pizza Pizza Day, a reminder of a time when 10,000 bitcoins could buy 2 pizzas. Today, those same bitcoins would be worth millions. Bitcoin's first believers were tech enthusiasts, people who saw it as a digital curiosity. But as word spread, more people became interested. Forums sprang up, online communities grew, and Bitcoin began to feel less like an experiment and more like a movement. Early adopters saw Bitcoin as more than just money. They saw it as a way to escape the traditional financial system. It became a symbol of freedom, a way to take control of one's own wealth without interference from banks or governments. These early believers didn't know if Bitcoin would last, but they were willing to take a chance, and their faith would soon be rewarded as Bitcoin's value started to rise. As Bitcoin grew, it attracted a different kind of attention. In 2011, a hidden online marketplace appeared on the dark web, a place where anonymity ruled. This marketplace was called the Silk Road, and its currency of choice? Bitcoin. The Silk Road allowed users to buy almost anything: drugs, weapons, fake identities. Bitcoin's anonymous nature made it perfect for these transactions. It was a double-edged sword. While it gave users privacy, it also attracted illegal activities. For law enforcement, the Silk Road was a nightmare, a place where criminals could operate without leaving a trace. And for Bitcoin, it was a mixed blessing, giving it fame but also a reputation as the currency of crime. Bitcoin's connection to the Silk Road didn't stop its rise. By 2013, Bitcoin had gone from being worth pennies to over $1,000 per coin. This meteoric rise captured the attention of investors, and suddenly, Bitcoin was on the radar of mainstream finance. The idea of digital gold started to take hold. People saw Bitcoin as a new kind of asset, something valuable and rare. And just like gold, it wasn't controlled by any government or bank. It was something that could stand on its own. As Bitcoin's value surged, so did the excitement. People believed they had discovered the future of money, a way to store value that could survive any financial crisis. In October 2013, the FBI took down the Silk Road. It's found, as we've seen, even the most impenetrable empires can collapse under the weight of their lies. What began as a story of promise and opportunity unraveled into a cautionary tale of unchecked ambition and the devastating consequences of fraud. But while some sought justice, others desperately clung to their innocence, fighting to salvage their reputations and avoid the harsh glare of public scrutiny. In our next episode, we'll uncover the next chapter of this astonishing story: the dramatic courtroom showdowns, the explosive testimonies, and the unexpected twists that left the world reeling. What deals were made behind closed doors? Who emerged unscathed? And who paid the ultimate price? The story is far from over, and neither is the impact it left on the world of finance. Stay tuned for the continuation of this gripping saga, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next episode of Insight Vault. Until then, remember, every great fortune hides a great crime.